The death of a Chinese celebrity has ignited the anger of the Chinese people against the CCP. Will this be China's turning point? Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Real quick, YouTube has been trying to suppress China Uncensored hard since last November. So please join me in Operation Honeypot by leaving a honeypot emoji in the comments. It's for the algorithm and also to show YouTube we know they've got their sticky little fingers in China's honeypot. Now, on with the show. The P in CCP may as well stand for paranoia because the Chinese Communist Party lives in a constant state of fear of Chinese people rising up against it, and for good reason. Because despite all the CCP's attempts to repress dissent, the Chinese people do fight back, over and over again. Anything could be the spark that stirs up the populace against the CCP. The 2022 Urumqi apartment fire under China's repressive zero-COVID policies sparked the white paper protests, calling for the Chinese leader Xi Jinping and the CCP to step down. And I assume Xi was afraid of paper because that beats his rock-solid grip on power. A school bullying case in Jiangyo that was handled with zero justice and accountability likewise sparked calls for the CCP to step down. Thankfully, the protesters weren't armed with paper. And now, there's another trigger that has ignited anger against the CCP. The death of Chinese actor Yu Menglong, also known as Alan Yu, best known for his roles in Go Princess Go and Eternal Love. Earlier last month, Yu died at just 37 years old after falling from a residential building in Beijing. According to the official story, Yu attended a dinner with friends. Around 2 a.m., Yu went to a bedroom, locked the door, and went to sleep. Then around 6 a.m., when the gathering was dispersing and Yu was nowhere to be seen, his friends went downstairs and discovered his body. The Chinese police immediately ruled out criminality, and Yu's studio released a statement citing Yu's own mother, saying that his death was from an accidental fall from a building due to drinking. Then, less than 2 weeks after the incident, Yu was given a funeral-less cremation. And there you have it. Yu just got clumsy and met a tragic fate, and they had to immediately incinerate his body to get rid of any evidence. I mean, lingering trauma to the family. Move along now. But many Chinese netizens don't buy it. They suspect a cover-up and that Yu was actually murdered. Why would anyone think that? Well, for starters, Yu isn't the first actor in his studio to die under very suspicious circumstances. There were, in fact, 3 others. Qiao Renliang, officially suicide by slit wrists, Ren Jiao, found nude after a fall, officially from suicide, and Ben Shi, also officially suicide by jumping. The studio needs to start following its actors with a net or something. There's also the fact that Yu's associates and people in China's entertainment industry are either getting immediately censored when they talk about Yu or giving vague hints that something was wrong, but that they don't want to get entangled in the quagmire. On top of all this, photos of the residential building where Yu died show what appear to be signs of a struggle, not a simple slip like what the official reports suggest. And anonymous sources claim that people who live in the area where it happened were paid not to say anything about that night. Despite that, tons of rumors connected to Yu's death have circulated across the Chinese internet. Netizens observed that it looked like Yu's abdomen was wrapped in bandages when his body was found. And there were claims of a leaked autopsy report saying that Yu's stomach was cut open and his genitals mutilated, and that there were puncture marks on Yu's chest, prohibited substances in his stomach, and skin tissue under his fingernails that reportedly did not belong to him. That sounds like signs of a struggle, though I'm no detective, ever since the chief took my badge for refusing to play by the rules. Multiple video clips surfaced across the Chinese internet claiming to prove foul play, and showing Yu being hung upside down from the window. But it wasn't just the video that indicated Yu wasn't alone that night, it was the audio. I'm sorry for this, folks.
我从小到大受这委屈，我知道我20了，我再不受这委屈。
Happy early Halloween? So much for ruling out criminality. It makes you wonder if there was even an investigation. Personally, I doubt it. In fact, some people think the CCP is censoring information about Yu's death because it implicates top CCP elites. I'll tell you why. But first, if you like this kind of deep dive into what's really going on in China, you've got to subscribe to my premium website, ChinaUncensored.tv. That's where you'll see episodes and live streams we can't put on YouTube. And if you want to support China Uncensored, buying a membership is the best way you can. It's just the price of a bag of coffee. Once again, that's ChinaUncensored.tv. So, why would somebody go after you? I get people may not have liked his movies, but that's what Letterboxd is for. Murder him with reviews, not murder. I mean, look at him. He's so harmless and pretty. Maybe too pretty. One rumor flying around says that Yu allegedly refused sexual favors from higher-ups, particularly people related to senior CCP officials like Cai Qi, Zhao Leji, and even Xi Jinping. There are also rumors that Yu got dragged into a behind-the-scenes power struggle that involved evidence of money laundering by senior CCP officials. Some say this evidence came in the form of a red USB stick Yu may or may not have swallowed. People got this idea from the rumored autopsy leak that said Yu's abdomen had been cut open, and also from these. Now, the audio in these clips is distorted and really hard to hear, so the people talking might not be saying what Chinese netizens say they're saying. But the distress is clear. Something is not right here. Of course, thanks to CCP's censorship, it's kind of hard to verify the rumors. But the fact it even seems plausible shows how shady the CCP is. You wouldn't believe this for a second if I said Dolly Parton did it. Be more like Dolly, everybody. Now, a lot of this is unconfirmed rumors, but the reason I'm telling you about this is because of how people are responding. Yu's death has created a massive firestorm online, with many Chinese people saying things like the truth cannot be buried, entertainment industry corruption, and abuse of power. They're also flooding the message boards on CCTV, the Beijing Culture and Tourism Bureau, China Court Network, and the State Council petition app with messages related to Yu, and overwhelming police stations with calls for justice for Yu. As Sino Insider, a China consultancy that specializes in internal Chinese politics, points out, the backlash to Yu's death has become a rallying point against CCP tyranny, somewhat akin to an online blank paper revolution. Not paper, anything but paper. Yu was a role model celebrity for the Chinese youth. He worked his way up to success. He was also reportedly just a nice guy. But if any of the rumors are true, Yu was crushed, harassed, exploited, and abused by the elites. Whether this is an accurate depiction of Yu is besides the point. Yu reminds people that they live in a system under the CCP that's rigged to benefit the rich and well-connected elites, while the everyday man faces layoffs, very little pay, and horrible working conditions. Not to mention injustice and crackdowns when legitimate grievances make the authorities look bad. The CCP does not want Yu to be used as a symbol against them. There are already overseas Chinese protesters using Yu's face, saying freedom belongs to the people, not to the red elites, and demanding both truth and transparency. Human rights activist crowdfunding platform Avaaz has even put out a petition urging a transparent investigation. This is exactly the kind of thing that terrifies the CCP, which is why the CCP reacted the only way it knows how, with even more censorship and crackdowns. Shortly after posts about you went viral, the Cyberspace Administration of China penalized Weibo, Kuaishou, and Xiaohongshu for allowing harmful information like hyping around celebrities' personal updates and trivial matters to appear in trending topics. You know, trivial matters like their brutally violent death. Tons of netizens claim they're being banned for simply mentioning you. One netizen reported that after changing their profile to a cartoon image of you on Xiaohongshu, their profile pic was automatically reset with a prompt stating that the profile picture content violates platform rules. Chinese netizens also noticed that Netflix removed Yu's name from the cast list of Eternal Love. Which, yeah, that's weird. Weibo administrators themselves posted on September 23rd that they suspended the comments function for 15,000 illegal accounts that engaged in malicious hype surrounding Yu's death. Which is terrible, but I will say, malicious hype is the best name for a new metal band I've ever heard. This was shortly after Chinese authorities announced that they arrested 3 people for spreading rumors about Yu's death. All of this just as China is also cracking down on online pessimism. Could Yu's death lead to some bigger social unrest later down the road? It's possible. Regardless, this is a reminder to the CCP that resentment is building up in China and will keep building as long as the CCP runs China like its own personal playground. There's a brewing revolution under the surface in China. Xi Jinping is terrified because China was built on revolution, and now he sees that same spirit turning against the CCP. Will the CCP be able to crush dissent forever, or is this the beginning of the end? I made a special 13-minute deep dive episode about it called China's Dangerous Road to Revolution. It takes a lot to make videos like these, which is why I put this one exclusively on my membership website, ChinaUncensored.tv. It's only for people who truly care about learning the history of the CCP and standing up for China's future. Is that you? If it is, click the link below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. I hope to see you there.